Super Gamecast 64, episode 65. Today on the show, we're going to be talking about the Bioshock Remastered collection, Recore, TGS 2016, some Fallout stuff maybe, and more.
DJ!
Hey guys, what's up? Welcome to Super Gamecast 64. I'm your host, Matt.
I'm Kevin.
I'm Tyler.
Today's a good day.
It is a good day.
We have some stuff going on in the land of the rising sun.
Hey, just to get this out of the way real quick, I hear you have an anniversary.
Oh, not just me. Well, I was the original. Let's pull it back a little bit. Long time ago.
In a galaxy far, far away.
No, galaxy real close. This galaxy.
Mentor galaxy.
Yeah. The Euclid galaxy.
Yikes.
10 years ago, we started this show. It's come a long way, and I know if you're like, episode 65, it's been 10 years. We've had year-long breaks, multiple year breaks. We've changed the show several times, but it's something nice. It's recognition or validation, I can't even talk today. It's a terrible episode. I lied. But 10 years.
Well, thanks for tuning in, guys.
10 years of podcasting. So if anything, we've been around, I guess.
Yeah.
I've been around. I don't know if that matters for anything, but 10 years. And we did drop our big episode 64, which I'm considering our 10th anniversary.
Yeah.
Great.
If you have not listened to that, by all means, when you're done with this one, go back and listen to it. It's good stuff.
If you like video game music, nostalgia, we can break it now. I mean, we talked NES, we talked N64 and PlayStation 1 for a long period of time, talking about all the games we loved as a kid, and a lot of music in there, too. But without further ado, let's kick off this show.
Let's kick it.
We had TGS 2016. Tyler didn't even know what that was.
I still don't know what it is.
TGS 2016.
Stands for Tyler Games
Sphere.
Spot.
Tyler Game Spot.
TGS.
Tokyo Game Show. It's the game show that takes place in Tokyo.
That's really on the nose.
Oh, of course
That's like
it
if
is.
they called E3 like big video game.
These are all the Western developers. So there's some stuff that came out of TGS 2016, specifically the Sony keynote that they had to kick off the show. So I'm just going to rattle some things you guys real quick, and then maybe we can bounce off a little bit. Someone needs to mute the TV, but that's something.
That was kind of a nice little.
That was the Xbox achievement sound.
It's also credited as a host on this episode.
Yeah.
Now.
Yeah, the achievement noise.
Great.
So, guys, Final Fantasy 15, there is a specific PS4 coming out for it. It's like a bundle, and it comes with the game and FF15 Kingslave. Was that what it's called, Tyler? It was
King
something. It's the film that they came out with.
I'll figure it out.
Yeah. So FF15 PS4, that's just a PSA, guys. November 29th, it's going to come with the game and King's Save and whatever the hell it's called.
King's Blah.
King's question mark. It's a black console.
Castle.
It's a black console that has a cool design on it. If you want to see anything and if you want to be in the loop on this stuff, you need to check out the official Super Gamecast 64 Twitter, which is just at Super Gamecast 64. We were covering this stuff. Actually, a lot of the news we dropped 5 to 10 minutes before big names like GameSpot and IGN. So if you want like the news as quick as it comes, for most of the stuff,
we have an army of trained children that are on the street that relay us information
via Morse code.
Yes, Morse code.
Tyler?
Yes. It's Final Fantasy 15 King's Glaive.
King's Glaive. So
Glaive with a G.
The Glaive. So that will come with King's Glaive, Final Fantasy 15, and a very sexy console. Another sort of console coming out, not from Sony, but Nintendo. Pokemon Sun and Moon. They're going to have their own consoles.
I love when they do these themed DSs. They're really neat. Tyler got one for Monster Hunter Generations. They're beautiful. They're really cool. I remember there was a while, I can't remember if they ever came out with it or not, but I remember when Majora's Mask for DS was dropped, there were people that were like, oh man, it'd be so cool if they came out with a DS for this.
And then they did. And it was great.
Yeah.
So that's coming out soon. I mean, the games drop soon. I didn't have an official date on it, but I'm pretty sure it'll be around the release date. If not,
wow,
probably.
What a wild conjecture.
If I know anything as a games journalist, it's that usually specialty consoles drop around the release of the game they're based around. Speaking of...
Which is November 18th, by the way.
So November 18th.
Not that I'm counting.
No, but November 18th, so you'll probably see the special edition console around then. Ubisoft announced the Assassin's Creed Ezio collection Do you guys care at all?
I do.
Okay,
I mean, I don't know what it is,
so-
but I like.
It has Assassin's Creed 2, Brotherhood, and Revelations.
Oh, so the ones that I never played.
Okay,
I
well-
couldn't get past the first one.
The first one is the worst one. That's a lie. The first one isn't necessarily the worst one, but it's not a good start.
Well, it's like the old adage.
Wow, that's really a bad choice on starters.
Yeah.
It's like the old adage. First is the worst. Second is the best. Third is the one with the hairiest chest.
And I'm the third one. But no, if you haven't played Assassin's Creed 2, Revelations, Brotherhood, or seen my chest hair, you can get all of those except for the last thing. This holiday, when Ubisoft launches yet another Assassin's Creed game. Who saw that coming? Here's a game where I don't even know what the fuck. I don't know if there's chest hair. I don't know what's in it. But Death Stranding, that's the game that Kojima announced at E3.
Yeah, where they had the hand-modeled Norman Reedus with crying the whole time, and the baby, the weird umbilical baby.
Yeah, you remember that at all, Tyler?
Yeah, I remember having nightmares about that.
Okay, so Kojima came out and he was like,
dudes,
people floating.
Welcome to my world where I trip on acid and make games.
Kojima came out on stage and he was like, essentially, this is what he said. He's like, a lot of shit happened last year and I was going to quit video games. No, this is for real. There's like, a lot of shit happened last year. I was going to quit video games. My friends were like, make more video games. So I'm here making video games. Death Stranding is a game, ... is an open world with some freedom. That's a direct quote. And then ... it has some online capabilities. Now let's talk about none of that.
Death Stranding is a game.
Exactly. And it's an open world game. In 2016, no way. There's online capabilities too? You kidding me? Next, you're going to tell me there's microtransactions. But here's something bigger out of the Sony. This is like a big thing out of the Sony keynote. They announced a new company. You might be interested in this, Tyler. Maybe you especially, Kevin.
I would.
It's called ForwardWorks. It's a mobile-centric developer. It's a new developer Sony is launching. It's all going to be about mobile stuff.
You know, I think they probably had just a really poor translation of that name because
ForwardWorks sounds like it's like ForwardWorks. So is backwards. The D makes are a thing. I don't know if they were trying to be on the nose with it.
I'm not sure what the choice in naming that was.
Fireworks?
Maybe Fireworks mobile games. Blah blah blah.
That sounds better than ForwardWorks.
Happy 4th of July. Fire.
Right then.
Did you like mobile games, Tyler?
Yeah, I like mobile games.
What do you think about companies like Sony and Nintendo specifically making developers and development studios for these games? Like with the iOS keynote, we saw that iOS has secured Nintendo mobile games. And you're like, that sounds so cool. And they're like, it's Mario Free Runner. It's just a Mario on this runner. You guys want that, right? Oh my God, put the gun in my mouth right now. What do you think? Do you think that giving a new development studio will give us more refreshing game experiences? Or do you think it's just going to be like, look at all this shovelware?
It sounds painful.
It sounds like a retired NFL player going to join the Major League Baseball. Like a very successful
in one
NFL
aspect.
Player. Yeah.
He's like, I'm going to try sports, but of a different color.
Like star quarterback, NFL player, going to be a very mediocre MLB player.
Touchdown.
I don't know much about sports, but that's my metaphor.
Well, Japanese game companies, they make a lot of crazy decisions. Sometimes they completely go back on them. It's a thing. Western developers, I think, are much more like, we need to see where the money is before we do anything. Whereas Japanese game developers are like, let's try this. If you go back and watch the TGS Sony keynote, they do a lot of stuff that might only be good for niche audiences, but you don't know until you try. Speaking of weird things, not necessarily weird, but Koei Tecmo, they have a new game coming out called Musu Stars.
Wait.
I don't even know what those words mean.
I already know what it is.
Go ahead, Tyler.
It's a big open world where you run around with a weapon and you fight hordes of dudes.
Wait, does it have online capabilities?
Wait, this is 2016 we're talking about. Are we there yet? Last time the Dreamcast tried online and that failed horribly.
It's
essentially
the OST is just the dial-up noise.
And then the pre-order bonus is an AOL Online install disc. So Musu Stars by Koei Tecmo or Musou Stars, it's just they took all their big... Think of it like Smash Brothers, but a Dynasty Warriors game.
Oh boy.
I called it! Yes!
Yeah, no, you totally called it.
Well, you said Smash Brothers, and all of a sudden, I just started thinking of Battle Royale.
Battle Royale.
I was just like, isn't that what that one was called? Nope.
There is a
It
new
wasn't.
Cartoon
The
Network
PlayStation one.
Punch Time Explosion?
PlayStation All Stars, man.
PlayStation All Stars?
Sure. Yeah. Does anyone else remember the name of that game? I mean,
PlayStation All Stars is what it's called.
I know, I get that, but like, does anyone care? Is the real question.
I thought that game was good, but I thought they could have done better with it.
I agree. It's... bleh.
But there was high expectations because it's based on Super Smash Brothers. Now, here's a game franchise that doesn't have high expectations as far as technical prowess goes. It's more about the ridiculousness of it. And of course, we're talking about Earth Defense Force. Earth Defense Force 5 got announced at TGS 2016. Have you guys played Earth Defense Force? And if so, what do you think about it?
Is it the tower defense?
No. Earth Defense Force is where you play as like a random dude in third person and you're fighting giant ants and stuff. Like literal Earth Defense Force. You are a force of people on Earth defending it against aliens, and they're usually giant bugs, super crazy spiders, aliens coming in. If you don't know anything about EDF, I honestly recommend watching the trailer because it very much captures what makes the game good, which is like shoddy physics, kind of crappy shooting, but it's like 600 giant ants on screen at once. It's a great time.
I can get behind that.
So that's coming out
I
soon.
played Fallout.
It's just too much.
And it's a co-op game. It's very much like, it's silly. You play it for a little while. You're not like, I'm going to sit down with EDF and get this engaging storyline and this crazy good... No, it's
it's Dead Rising.
No, but Dead Rising, as they went, they tried to build upon the lore and try to make it more, EDF, you can barely tell the difference between EDF for the 360 versus, like, the new EDF, because it's all, like, kind of low-res, not super polished. Yeah, so your Dead Rising analogy was close, but Capcom has a better hold on narrative structure. And Dead Rising is like, Frank West! And this guy that I don't remember. And EDF's like, you're a man in a helmet. There's no story here.
Oh, Master Chef.
Master Chef, killer of the ant people.
Master Chet.
Speaking of Master Chief, The Last Guardian got delayed.
Guardian? I got it.
Yeah,
I'm with you.
Yeah, you there?
It's also kind of another Bungie reference. You got the...
Oh, that's coming out next week.
It is.
What is that?
Path of Iron.
Path of Iron.
Path of Iron, that's a Destiny thing.
Destiny update.
We'll get into that.
Expansion.
We'll get into that next week.
Yeah, we'll get some play on it.
Maybe the week after. I think next week we might be doing a themed episode. More on that at the end of the episode.
We'll get to that.
Yeah.
The Last Guardian, delayed till December 6th.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, this year.
They delayed it because they want the little boy to look even better.
Yeah,
the little boy that hugs the big dog.
There was an actual reason. It wasn't like, oh, we're delaying it and it's going back into the ether. It was like, animations are shit, we need to work. It's like, okay, that's fine.
Cool, as long as it's not like bad.
The only reason this is news is because it's a delay and everybody wants this game to come out.
We've only been working on it for 12 years. We need 13 more.
Take some time. Did you see Duke Nukem Forever and how good that came out?
No.
Come on, trust us.
Oh.
It was a joke because Duke Nukem Forever was a fucking hot mess.
Okay, I thought that's the one you were talking about.
So getting off of TGS and closing up the news of this week, we had Blizzard lore writer Chris Metzen.
Mm-hmm.
If I mispronounced your name, I'm sorry, Chris. He was responsible for world building on things like Warcraft 3, StarCraft, any big Blizzard release.
Some of the best stuff.
He was the man who put you in Azeroth. That's the name of Warcraft.
That's the world.
He was the one who was like,
Chris.
he was the one who was like, how about there's an Alliance and a Horde? So if you're ever like, circle jerking with your Horde friends about how you're so much better than Alliance or whatever, you can thank Chris Metzen for giving you
It all started. He's sitting in the bathroom. He's like, what if there was a race of really strong humans, but they're green, and they fight against regular humans,
but they're red.
But the humans, they're magic. And the green guys are they punch things real hard.
And there was a Blizzard CEO like literally listening in on his own thoughts. And he was like, "You're hired."
He was in the bathroom at Blizzard and like he was talking out loud to himself. And one of the CEOs was in the stall next to him.
You just hear that knock, knock, knock.
Hey, I like that.
Hey, you want a job though?
Also, you got any toilet paper?
I'm out over here and I don't want to wipe my ass with the roll. It feels really weird and I don't like it.
Oh, that's going too far.
So he announced that he's retiring for games. He's not like, I hate games like some devs do, Phil Fish. And he's just like, I'm okay now. I have enough money. I like stuff, but I'm just retiring from games. He's not starting his own studio. He's not like moving teams. He's just retiring.
Josh gonna be real upset.
Well, hopefully the team of writers that he has shaped in the years he's been there will leave. I'm trying to think of the words. Will continue his legacy, even though it's not his per se. It is the work he started.
And realistically speaking, a
lot of the stuff is in play now too.
Well, the longer you spend with the company, the less active you are in the actual generation of that sort of stuff. So, I mean, chances are he was a consult in a lot of cases, but he probably didn't directly write.
Most of his work was StarCraft and Warcraft 3.
Right.
And a little bit of WoW.
Those were his
Overwatch
his,
is a lot,
swan
too.
song.
Overwatch was his kind of swan song, actually.
Yeah, that's
Overwatch lore was a lot of Chris.
Which is awesome.
So we're going to move on from the news, and we're going to get right into games. If you guys are like, what about weeks? It's a different show now, and we'll talk about it at the end. But right now, we're going to talk about a few games in specific.
Yeah, you just wait. You wait.
But for the beginning, it's an old running habit. We check in on Tyler and his search to find little children friends inside of a PlayStation Vita game.
Inside of a TV.
Inside of a
PlayStation
inside of a
TV
TV.
game.
Inside of Persona 4.
I also have been looking for friends, very briefly, but...
In the real world or in inside the TV?
Yeah.
Well, how's that going for you? Friendless in Seattle.
About the same.
That sounds like something like you would write into like a Dear Abby. You're like, my friend or my roommate is able to find tons of friends inside of a game console, inside of a TV, and I have no friends in real life. How do I do this? Dear Abby.
Sincerely friendless in Seattle.
Sincerely friendless in Seattle, but
Dear
I'm not from
friendless.
Seattle. Dear friendless. Fucking.
Have you heard of Persona?
So, Tyler, you finally beaten Persona 4, am I right?
Yep.
Like a dead horse.
I mean, this is the last time we're going to do this bit because we've done so much, and I feel like every time it exponentially gets worse for Tyler.
No.
It gets worse for Tyler because we start to make fun of him even more and more. So
That's not true at all.
Let's cut this in and let's make it brief. Tell me about your friendships and where they ended. Who did you take to the dance?
I didn't take anyone to the dance. I went and hung out with my dudes. That actually happened.
Oh, you actually got some husbandos.
No.
But there was just dudes.
Wait, like you hung out with your friends in real life?
No, I don't have friends in real life. I
It's
just
a
hang out with
lie
you
once
guys.
again.
So,
We're
on
not
Valentine's Day, like I told you before, that game ends, quote-unquote, on Valentine's Day.
And it's released on Valentine's Day.
Right.
Persona 5 is released on Valentine's
P5.
Interesting.
I want that steel box. So, I called up all my girlfriends, and they're like, you're going to see another girl, aren't you? I'm like, no. Promise. And then I said no to everybody. Promise to everybody.
Hey, baby,
And
the only girl I'm seeing is my mama.
Yeah, right? She's the only real
my mom
girl.
lives in another city.
That's right.
It's okay.
They
But
abandoned
she's
you.
not in Persona, so it doesn't apply.
Right.
All your
So-
waifus got de-waifu'd because you couldn't pick.
Right. And
And then you just went stag and hung out with a bunch of
He
dudes.
just
That's
shut them all
correct.
It
down.
sounds like my homecoming.
That actually sounds like the only way you can win that game.
And
Yeah,
I won.
the only way to win, it's like war games. The only way to win is to not play at all.
Exactly.
If winning is having a kid at 20 years old or 18, well, how old are these kids?
17.
Never mind, we're not going to talk about making babies. So, overall, Persona 4, what's your final verdict on it?
Well, I'm not really sure what I learned, but I didn't learn anything. I don't know what I like about it. I couldn't even tell you why I played it.
How many hours did you put in this game?
112?
112 hours and you're still not sure if you like it.
You like
Well, no, I loved it, but I don't know why.
Maybe it's just because it's a JRPG and Persona is very, very different from a lot of things with its social gameplay and whatnot.
Well, and
Maybe
a lot of times, especially with critically acclaimed things, it's hard to explain to people who don't really get it what it is about it. It's almost like it's more ethereal. I tried explaining to my best friend today what makes Stranger Things so great, objectively speaking, from my perspective.
And you could say things like, "Oh, the '80s nostalgia," or "I like this person," but it's the actual care and passion and the love that went into creating that cannot be quantified by a specific point on a bullet list.
Yes.
Tyler, any
So
closing
sorry to
words?
steal that from you,
That's
but
okay.
is that a pretty good approximation of how you? It's just a feeling.
It's a good game, but
Well-
you don't know exactly what makes it perfect.
So that might be why it is perfect.
Yeah,
Because
that certainly could be.
Just to wrap it up, though, I might be old enough to appreciate JRPGs now.
Yeah, no, that's the
I
thing
could
too. Is
not-
JRPGs versus Western RPGs? JRPGs is a lot of dialogue. There's a lot of intricate systems that don't give you as much tutorialization as a Western game. So there's reasons that JRPGs work for some people and work for other people. And I found with age that I like games that I didn't like before as well. Resource-based games, I find that I'm liking more and more. Here's a game, though, that I liked a lot when I played it originally in 2007, I believe is when it came out. And I'm liking it just as much now, albeit with some caveats, in 2016. And that is the Bioshock Collection. Just in case you're not aware, for $60 you can get Bioshock 1. with some additional content in there. There's some challenge rooms. Bioshock 2 with all the DLC, and Bioshock Infinite with all the DLC, all for the low, low price of $60. And we're playing Bioshock 1 right now.
Now with extra glitches.
Now with all the extra... They remastered the glitches so you can see them even closer.
They up-res the fail of water texture.
We don't need to talk about Bioshock. If you haven't played Bioshock, the narrative is what makes it, and now is the time to play it. So we won't belabor the whole story, but the whole idea is that you crash land and you swim up to a lighthouse, and there's a bathysphere that you pull the lever on. It takes you down into a city called Rapture, which is a metropolis that was created without gods, without presidents. It was
only men.
Only men, and it all went to shit because people got fucked up on drugs. Well, you don't say. People taking drugs and fucking their lives up. We're in 2016. You think we're even there yet?
This was placed in the 80s.
It's actually no, it's
60s?
59
50s,
is
60s,
there's the whole lore of it is that like it all went to shit on New Year's Day in 1959. So it's actually, but the style of it is decidedly neon and kind of a little bit more 80s.
There's so much Art Deco, and I just love it.
It's very much a game that needs to be seen. But let's talk about...
If you have not played Bioshock, now is the time to do it.
Even if you don't like shooters, or... It's not even a horror game.
And it's not even really... I mean, in terms of true shooters...
It's not even a shooter, really.
Yeah, it's more... I mean, it really is just an action RPG.
You usually use your, like, special powers, because you can shoot, like, lightning out of your fingers and shit like some crazy Marvel superhero.
Zippity zappity.
Yeah, zippity zappity. I
hurts like hell, but what's better than a fistful of lightning?
That is a thing that they say in the game, and I'm glad you pulled that, and I'm glad that you were paying attention when we were playing. I was also paying attention, and you know what I saw? A whole lot of fucking glitches, man. I can go onto my save in 2007, and I can walk through some, like, water that looks but if I load up in 2016 save in the same spot, I'll get to see that entire placeholder water texture. I'm really glad they remastered it and just brought they're like, we want you to so much know how much we went into, how much work we put into this, that we're just going to leave some of it half finished. So you can appreciate the shit versus the good. Now, I wish it would have been in some sort of controlled environment and not in the middle of my fucking game. But there's that. There's also a lot of audio glitches that weren't in the original. Like, who's that one guy? Peach Wilkins. Peach Wilkins.
Peach Wilkins.
Yeah. At the end of each of his dialogue, he just repeats, like, the last syllable. So it's like, come on through my door, or. And you're like, huh? Is that musicality?
Peach has been replaced by a robot.
Yeah, no. And then you just fucking, you destroy him. Yeah, some video glitches, but to be honest, 60 FPS, the up-resing, the remastering was excellent. I can't speak for Bioshock 2 or Infinite yet, because I haven't played those remastered versions. I'm much on the Bioshock 1. But until we play that, besides the glitches that I'm sure they're going to patch or won't patch, dependent, it's a pretty good deal. Because you're getting stuff that wasn't even released as DLCs. You have director's commentary, you have challenge rooms, things that have never been released for Bioshock 1, you have the online multiplayer, tons and tons of stuff. But Bioshock's fun. Do you have anything else you want to say on Bioshock? Tyler, you saw Bioshock for the first time. What'd you think of it?
Looks like a good game.
You heard it here first.
Do you think you might like the story of the good game?
Tell you what. I'll tell you what. My eyelids look like, because I fell asleep while you were playing.
Well, it was late.
It was late.
We played a game.
I fell asleep too.
We played a game,
and I love that game
before Bioshock. Ooh, it was called Recore.
Ooh, Recore.
Tyler, you haven't talked a lot during Bioshock segment, so why don't we just... What'd you think of Recore?
Yeah,
I watched you play it for 45 seconds.
Ooh. Oh, you know what this is perfect for?
Oh, no.
Give me 10. 10.
He's watching for 45 seconds.
I don't care. That's the perfect...
You've done nothing but give Tyler the 10s, and I'm pissed that I haven't got to do any 10s in about 5 episodes. So why don't you let me do the 10?
All right, fine. You do the 10.
Fuck.
But it's not as fun, because, he's got a first perspective.
I played it for an hour and a half. You're just, like, bullying Tyler into these 10s. He's going to do a 10 in fucking 5 seconds.
It's more fun. Do 10.
Post-apocalyptic scavenger girl gets robot. Did you mark that correctly?
Yep.
Finds stuff. Jumps around.
Shoot, guys.
Yeah, there's shooting in there too, but it's not the main idea. But Tyler, yeah, extrapolate, please.
It looked like, okay, so from what you explained to me, there are a lot of ins and outs of this game that don't really make a whole lot of sense. But it's a shooter with the lock-on thingy.
Yeah, there's not really true aiming. It's like once there's something... Yeah, it's very much a platformer.
That's what we want to get across here.
More so than any other shooter, and this is a third-person shooter once again. Like he was saying, there isn't true aiming. If you encounter an enemy and you hold left trigger, you're going to lock onto them. Because the game is kind of like more about defending and moving around the attacks than it is about truly doing damage. There's some like play on, if you shoot the red color gun against the red color enemy, you do more damage. And like, you can press a few buttons and have your buddy attack them. But for the most part, the game is about going into dungeons, you doing collectible hunting, finding power-ups. There's a bit of Metroidvania in there, and the fact that you can't go through some things to get certain power-ups. But overall, the game is good, which speaks well because it's a new IP and it's also $40.
How Ratchet and Clanky does it feel?
You know what? Ratchet and Clank feels less like Ratchet and Clank because Ratchet and Clank had more combat variation. It was more about the cool guns and stuff like that than it was about the platforming. It does feel very, very tight in controls. It has some of the best jumping and movement mechanics that I've seen in a third-person shooter in a very, very long time. But Ratchet and Clank, what I think Ratchet and Clank does, it takes you to different worlds and you get a different style. You know, like, here's this red planet, here's the lava planet, here's the swamp area. Recore is very much like it's a desolate planet, it's a lot of sand and rocks, and you're finding caves and installations within them. It's very steampunk, as Kevin put it. Cyberpunk, whereas Ratchet and Clank is more colorful. I think this is kind of like, if I had anything to complain about, it's that the textures aren't fully realized, and a lot of the game is that brown-tan color. But it's a $4 title, so what can you do?
I mean, my initial reaction to it wasn't the most visually striking, but the gameplay looked really fun.
Yeah, and that's the thing, is the gameplay is the focus. Once again, it feels like an older game in the fact that they don't worry 100% about making a super cohesive or engaging narrative. Not to say the narrative isn't engaging, but it's definitely about the gameplay fluidity over the narrative pull, if one could say. But I think it's a good start. If anything, it's a good start, and I think the franchise can learn a lot of things. Something that Tyler said, or pointed out, is something I think they can fix in future sequels. On the load screen, when you click the tile,
you have 4-hour load screen.
No, the load times are kind of extraneous, but that's only for the Xbox. But the splash art when you click Recore shows all of the robots that you can unlock. You only start with one robot, so if you just look at the thing, you're like, oh, I get a tank one, and I'll get a scorpion one, and I'll get all the. There's no mystery. Which I would have appreciated, especially because there's that's the whole idea, is that you get different partners that'll help you that do different things. I want to be like, what's the new thing? I'm excited. Not like, I wonder which of these 6 that I already know I'm going to get is going to pop up.
Just all I have to say is wow.
Wow. Way to go, Microsoft. Dropping the ball again.
Wow.
That's a lie, actually. Microsoft's been on top of their game these past few weeks. Let's jump off of Recore, and I'm going to give you guys some talk. Yeah, wow.
Do you want to spring off of that 3-letter word into another
wow
3-word title?
What is wow? What is so wowy about WoW Legion?
A lot of things, really, yeah.
Let's start from the get-go. What is different quest-wise?
All right, I gotta say, the Broken Isles are gorgeous.
So, major things. New zone, Broken Isles, made up of 5 different locations, all themed differently. You have Stormheim, which is a Viking-themed locale.
You have Valshara, which is the forest full of all of the dryads and centaurs and druids that you could imagine.
And then you have High Mountain, which is your classic Tauren area. It's very Native American and obviously very craggy and hilly.
And then you have Bleak Falls Barrow, and that's in Skyrim. So if you want to find your first quest, you go in... Oh, no, sorry. That's Skyrim once again. What about... Is there
yeah, there are 2 more.
Does he even play WoW?
Oh, there's 2 more?
There's 2 more, yeah.
I played WoW one time. It was vanilla flavor.
Wow.
Wow. What are the other 2 zones?
Not even chocolate.
Ajuna? I know I'm not saying that right, but that's what I call it. And that one is your Murloc and Naga area.
God, everyone loves Murlocs.
And then finally you have Suramar, which is a... kind of a night elf area. The whole thing, if I can wrap it all up into a tidy bow, the major objective of the Broken Isles is that you are basically a drug peddler for mana addicted former night elves.
Mm-hmm. Sounds about right.
Who will go into a addled frenzy jonesing for their next high of ancient mana that you collect and give to them.
Drug dealers within a fantastical world. Do you think that works? We're in 2016. Are we there with a drug problem?
It's currently working. I'll tell you what.
Open world and online capabilities,
anything
can work.
Anything can be a game. I have a very specific question. So when I played WoW Vanilla Edition, vanilla flavored, I was a human paladin, and I went to the Lions ? Inn, and I was on what's called a RP server.
Yes.
And I didn't know RP stands for role playing. So I played as a girl, and then went on a date with somebody inside WoW purely to steal 100 gold. Can we still do that? Are we still at the place where you can pretend to be another gender and then feed incessantly off the want for social connection?
You certainly can. You would be selling yourself short for 100 gold.
No. I was like a level 2. I was a young gun in the new selling my body game. It was real fun because like when the kid gave me the gold and he was like try to start sexting me, I was like, I'm a man, just like hard man. So wrecked. Thanks for the gold.
Funny thing you mentioned that. I was in a similar area in the middle of Goldshire, and it was right after these new mounts came out where you could have somebody basically piggyback. You could hop on the mount, and even if you don't have flying or riding or whatever, you too
I can show you the world.
Any level could magic carpet that. Anyway, so some guy goes, "Hey, check this out! I got this new mount. Hop on." I'm like, "Okay." So I did. We grouped up. He flies me over the Maelstrom, which is this area that, now keep in mind, this is about 15 minutes of flying. The whole time he's like, "Wow, look at these, these great visuals up here, blah, blah, blah." We're just chatting the whole time, and he's just being a real cool guy. All of a sudden, I'm realizing we're over the Maelstrom. He's like, "All right, now give me all your gold or I'll drop you." And I'm like, Click the eject button, and I just parachute into the Maelstrom like, F you, buddy!
That's a high-level PvP zone, correct?
And no, it's just you die if you go into it. It's just a death swirl in the middle of the map, yeah.
Well, that's...
So...
What a dick. At least when I do my things, I at least give them some sort of date. They can look back and they can be like, I remember when that nice druid human paladin woman came to my...
Druid human paladin woman?
Anything else about WoW Legion? Like, what's the big thing? What's
class
the big
halls.
thing?
I'd say class halls and artifact weapons.
Tyler, what do you think is the big thing? What do you like the most about WoW Legion?
I mean, it's real pretty. It feels real clean. I like the story.
You like the story?
I like the story a lot.
It's one of the few times I played WoW and actually, obviously you're playing this game, you're getting higher in level, you're getting stronger. You never really feel like you're part of the in crowd because there's these really top tier A-list characters. You have Khadgar and Medivh, the ones that have been there since the original Warcraft lore, and you're still doing errands for these people, but you finally kind of feel like they're counting on you. You are actually a hero in this World of Warcraft, and it's less like you're just kind of running around getting their milk and eggs.
Prime example, when you get into your class hall, I mean, just for me, because I played a druid, you go through the first portion of quests, and they declare you an archdruid. They make you go through the ritual of becoming an archdruid. And then when you walk around, everyone's like, "Hello, archdruid." And I'm like...
You're like, that's wow, right, bitch.
They've even coded it to a point where you can run through this one dungeon called Darkheart Thicket. You fight a druid boss, and if there's a druid in your party, he will have interaction with them. Wow. It's very, very in-depth. It's just, honestly, this has been my favorite expansion of World of Warcraft.
For anybody who doesn't really play WoW, I played WoW, like I said. Actually, I lied. It was vanilla, and then I went back right when Kata had dropped. Mm-hmm. But the thing with me is that I am a quester. I don't like PvP. I don't like selling things. I like quests. And oftentimes, WoW felt very fetch questy. But with expansions coming out, I always assume there's some sort of push. And I got into raids and stuff like that. But is there good, not single player, because it's not really that kind of thing, but is there good quest lines and narratives in this more so than you would have seen? Like, Wrath of the Lich King was really good quest line, in my opinion.
I'll tell you what, if you don't do the quests, you're missing out on pretty much the entire expansion.
Yep.
You do the 4 zones, and then you go to Suramar afterward, and there's a story in each zone. And they all link together.
I would love to play WoW again, but I do not have the time.
This is the expansion for you, buddy.
But I know. Well, but you guys know, as a games journalist, you rarely have time to sit down and play your own game. If you have a lot of stuff, especially coming to holidays here, October, November, I'm going to be playing only what we're talking about. I don't have time to sit down and play a few games of Rocket League, which we'll get into in a second. But Kevin,
the beauty of it, this expansion was very, very obviously made for people like our age that have grown up with the game and no longer have hours and hours and hours to devote to playing.
We're not in high school anymore.
Right. And so what they've done is they haven't made it necessarily more casual. They've made it more accessible to people who can't be hardcore players.
There's even an app that lets you control your class hall from your phone.
Oh, wow.
So in Warlords of Draenor, they introduced the garrison system where you could you could have these followers that would go on quests for you and gather materials and things like that. The app now features your class hall followers who you can also send on missions.
Oh, sounds like fun. Anything else in closing, Tyler? Is there any specific feature that you're super into?
I like the way everything feels. I really
It's like a good overhaul. Or not an overhaul, but it's just a very good expansion.
Yeah. I mean, if you ever followed the lore, it all continues.
So
it's basically like in the lore, like he said, not to go on about this, but the first hour of the game is like the Expendables World of Warcraft.
Really?
Yeah, I mean, all of the A-listers are there, and they're all doing badass stuff. And the Horde and the Alliance are fighting together. It's just very cool.
It's good to see that Legion is an excellent expansion. What we're going to do is we're actually going to switch up the order of what we're going to talk about. And I'm going to go into Fallout 4's expansion, their final expansion, known as Nuka World. Hey guys, this episode is brought to you by Tippin' Ball, which is a 4-player, 1-button game. It's from our buddy at AwkwardNot on Twitter. He's a great guy. It's a super silly game.
Yeah, he actually mentioned that Tippin' Ball has been linked to some health issues. You may experience some tickling and huge growth in your bathing suit area.
Yeah, so if you want that kind of thing, and this game is free, or it's one of those games where it is free, but they appreciate a donation or two. So why don't you pop on over and give it a download, give it a try. You can throw him a buck or two and let it go.
Tweet at him because he is killer.
He's hilarious. He is a great emoticon. Me and him had a good old emoticon battle over the week. So once again, the URL, somebody have it. It's awkwardnot.itch.io/tippin-ball. So if you want that, once again, that's awkwardnot.itch.io/TIPPIN-BALL. And once again, game is free, but he appreciated our donation. Tyler, you like balls and tippins?
Nothing like a good kick in the face.
Have you guys messed with Fallout 4 at all since
Not
it's
really,
released?
no.
Okay, so I'm going to make this brief because there's two camps of expansions. There's the crafting settlement heavy, and there's the quest heavy. So you have like Vault Tech versus Far Harbor,
right.
Automatron versus Contraptions. Nuka World is somewhere in the middle, and it has flaws for that and also has good things for that. So the thing about Nuka World is, to set the stage, it's in Fallout 4, there is a Coca-Cola-esque company called Nuka-Cola, and they made a theme park like Disney, but it's all based off of Nuka World. And if that picked up, that was Kala farting.
She was stretching.
That's the studio dog. We did not introduce her at the top. So you pick up the transmission and you go to Nuka World, find out that there is a raider camp set up there, and you need to overcome their boss and become the raider boss. And from there it starts off, it's like, go secure and explore the zones. Go check out the different zones. Kitty Zone, Safari Zone, the Galactic Zone, all that kind of stuff.
Space World,
yeah.
Space Mountain.
And what they've done is they put a lot of really cool attractions in there.
Gun Zone.
Death Zone. Welfare Zone.
Oh, God.
Preston Garveyville.
Oh, no, that's the worst Ville. No, it's split up into a few things. But the thing is that Bethesda, I think they took a lot of cool ideas. Like, what if we had an arcade? And they're like, well, let's just throw that in there. And the thing is that the quests surrounding it, like become the Raider King or whatever, it's very, very dry and it's very hollow. But the actual stuff you're seeing along the way is cool. But then at a certain point, after you've explored most of Nuka World and the surrounding area, they're like, okay, now we're going to expand this Raider gang that you've become into the Commonwealth. So you get these settlement things that you can do with raiders, and you get a lot of cool decor. But the problem is, and this is where I take the main issue with Fallout 4 Nuka World, is in order to complete the quest lines, you need to set up raider settlements. And they didn't add a whole lot of new settlements to be gotten. So it's like you have to select from a list, and oftentimes if you played a lot of Fallout 4, the list is settlements that you've already taken for the Minutemen.
Right.
So it forces you to either remove them, kill all of them, or make them leave their homes. And the thing that makes Fallout 4 and Elder Scrolls good is that you have freedom of choice. So if you're someone who likes to play a good guy, and you're not chaotic or evil, you're being forced to kill people you helped early or force them out and change up the whole dynamic of your settlements in the main game to finish the quests, quest line.
It's like good old Chuck Darwin said, survival to fitness.
Well, and that's the thing, is that if you're fitness, you can do anything. You can run across the whole raider world. But if you had friends that weren't maybe so fitness because they had settlements that they got earlier, but now you're just going in and you're killing them.
Well, and they should have gotten good. They got to get good, and you didn't get good.
Step 1, sleep. Step 1, stay up past your bedtime. Step 2, get good, nerd. So Fallout 4 Nuka World, if you're a big fan of Fallout and you like the settlement stuff, definitely buy it at full price. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. It's not the best Fallout 4 finale there could have been. But if you're not super into it and you haven't bought every other expansion, I would say wait for it to be on sale, maybe 10 or 15. Far Harbor, in my opinion, was a much better expansion. But for me, like I said with WoW, I played quests. I'm the same with every RPG. I like quests and I like seeing what they can do.
You don't like the treadmill?
I don't. Well, and not even that. I can enjoy a good treadmill carrot hang if there is a reason. And just like, be the raider guy so you can fuck over people that you once liked for bullshit caps. It's not a good treadmill to be on because that's not my character that I play. And it forces me into that situation. So Nuke World, in general, like an 8 out of 10. But it's a lot of things I felt like they wanted to put in there, but they were just like, we're only making one expansion. So they shoehorned a lot of stuff in there. It felt like Nuka World could have been a very good quest expansion, and they could have also dropped what was called like Raider Settlement Pack, and you would have gotten the settlement stuff in a different DLC. But I think they just did halfsies on both and put them together, which isn't necessarily a bad thing because Bethesda, and usually it's all quality. But for those who like specific parts of the Fallout experience, you're not gonna get it. You're not gonna get it. Let's rewrap around.
Reroute
to something a little bit more silly.
Reroute to the Rocket Rumble.
Rocket League Rumble mode. This was a free up, and I just want to give a shout out to Psyonix.
Rocket Buck Bumble mode.
Bum to the bum to the bum to the bit boo bum to the bass bass. That's Buck Bumble's theme song for the Nintendo 64. And if you don't know what that is, look it up. Look it up on the internet. That's what they have it for. Rocket League Rumble, shout out to Psyonix because every update has been free with the exception of like, do you want the Batmobile car? Give us $1. So this new mode, Kevin, what is this? No, both of you. I know exactly what this mode is, but you guys didn't even play it. You just saw me play like 2 matches. What is this mode?
This is if Inspector Gadget and 60s Batman had a baby, and it was a car. And that car could use one of the combination moves every 10 seconds. And they played soccer with it.
Tyler, do you have any? Yeah.
I mean, that's spot on.
It's a 3v3 mode that is not ranked, but what you have are different power-ups. You have a little ticker that counts down from 10, and every 10 seconds... There's essentially a 10-second cooldown on using a power-up. You get a power-up, and it's one of many things. You have like a tornado around your car that just takes the ball and throws it. You can freeze the ball in midair. You can force another player to do only full acceleration, full boost, and make them lose control. You can punch the ball into the goal. You can kick with a giant boot. Like, there's tons of crazy over-the-top stuff. But the idea is that it's fun. You play it with your friends. It's kind of silly. Rocket League in itself is already silly.
Yeah, but
soccer with cars.
You take something silly and make it sillier? That doesn't seem possible. But it is.
What do you know? What was the original?
It was like super-powered, hypertronic, ultra-rapid.
Yeah, something before it was actually called
Rocket
League. Yeah, there was some big like alpha name.
It was great. It's had such a nice cadence. It's just one of those like rare things.
Super silly.
They really put some work into that title. It's good.
Along with the update, not to belabor Rocket League Rumble mode, they added a new crate system, kind of the same thing you see in Overwatch, where they're like,
CS:GO?
Yes, similar also to CS:GO. They're like, here's this crate you unlocked like you would unlock any other kind of cosmetic upgrade. And they're like, but you need keys. And to open, you need, it's like 5 keys is $5 or $3 or whatever. And then you can see the potential contents of the chest. So it's very much only microtransactions, but they've added some more upgrades or cosmetic upgrades, as they always do.
Can you earn those keys?
Can you what?
Earn?
No, you can't, as far as I know. Well, at least I've only played long enough to see that I don't think you can, and everything I've seen from the community is it's very much just microtransactions.
So you get a stack of loot crates, you put them in the corner, and you just kind of sit on them.
Yeah. Exactly. And I mean, honestly, I think it would be very stupid of them to not give you the option to earn those keys in real game.
Yeah, but the thing is, I mean, it follows a lot of the FTP games. This isn't necessarily free to play, but the more successful ones have made it so that your bonus things are pretty much strictly cosmetic, like League. You know, they have skins, and no one needs a skin. It doesn't make you any better. It doesn't do anything for your game. True. But when it comes down to it, it's you support them with that.
In general,
True.
I think Rocket League gives out more customization options than a game that is free to play. Like League only gives you so many skins every now and again, whereas Rocket League, the whole pull of completing matches is unlocking like the 250 different, colors and the decals, and there's enough of there that I'm not shafted like, oh, you're making me pay for customization options. Like, there's enough there, and it's added free with each update or each patch that I understand that they want you to pay $1 for something that's cool, like a car decal that moves,
right?
Or a very, very rare rocket trail that maybe only 2 or 3 people will have.
Those are kind of cool too, because it lets people who don't normally have the money to drop on like expensive DLC,
one or two things. Did you have anything to say, Ty?
Yeah, I would say yes, but I mean, it's.
Well, I don't like crates or microtransactions in general. I'm just saying that Rocket League is not the worst proponent of it. Let's move on past Rocket League. We're getting close to the end of the show. I'm going to just say real quick, Deus Ex Mankind Divided, even if you didn't like Human Revolution, which is the last one on 360 and PS3, this one's really good.
Looks super good.
I don't like stealth games at all, and that's the reason I didn't like Human Revolution, because Deus Ex touts itself as, you can do whatever you want, take any sort of approach to this encounter.
For a really good example of that, shout out to the YouTuber Killian Experience. He does a really great recap of the previous Deus Ex title. What's it called?
Human Revolution.
Human Revolution, thank you. He does an entire walkthrough of the highlights of the game, but it's just hilarious.
Well, in Human Revolution, you can do a lot of super, super silly stuff, like string together ridiculous combos. You could be like a Batman of sorts, just dropping in and one-hitting everybody. Mankind Divided gives you more options, and truly, if you do mess up an encounter, like, deciding to shoot this person, fuck, I missed! It's not like your whole entire next 45 minutes is all hostility. You can just handle the threat, and then continue how you want, whether it's stealth or, going guns a-blazing. But Mankind Divided is a great game. Makes some falters where Human Revolution succeeded, but in general, it's a better game. And that's all I want to say about it, because it's been out for a while. Let's close up with a little bit, like, some simple stuff. Well, first, before we get into, like, the super simple stuff, Tyler, you played a game? It was called
God Eater?
God Eater.
Kevin,
do you want to... There you go. Now you can.
Oh, yeah.
Now you make him do one.
God Eater in 10.
God Eater in 10?
God Eater in 10 words. And this is God Eater for the... God Eater. It's just called God Eater?
Yeah. No. This
I'll
one's
say
called...
God Eater a bunch still. God Eater.
God Eater. Eats all the gods.
Resurrection.
God Eater Resurrection for the PlayStation
God
Vita
Eater
in 10 words.
This is a sequel,
God Eater
technically.
Leftovers.
Cue the Who Wants to Be a Millionaire music. Go!
Monster Hunter and Freedom Wars. That's 5.
Monster Hunter and Freedom Wars.
Yeah.
I can count, guys. It's my bit.
Do you need to phone a friend again?
It's my bit. I can count.
I had this earlier.
I had this earlier.
Whoa!
Had a baby.
Had a baby. Yeah.
From anime.
Ooh, I like that.
Because it is a show.
Good rap.
Yes. Very good. Once again, that was the Who Wants to Be a Millionaire bit that we play when Tyler struggles with these 10 words.
I'm sorry.
You don't have to do it. It's the music part.
I liked it.
It's good. Street Pass games for the Nintendo 3DS. There's a new slew of them. How many?
5.
How many of those have you played?
5.
Kevin, have you played how many?
I didn't even know there were a new one.
Me neither. Tyler's on top of
And
it.
I'm like usually the Nintendo.
There are 3 bundles out since the start of Street Pass games.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah.
I see. I always
3?
played like I
was
always
the second one.
Yeah, there was the Ultimate Angler and the
Oh.
something else. It was like, I didn't get that one.
I looked at Find Me and Puzzle, and I was like, oh. And then I looked at some of the other ones, and I was like, I don't know if they're good, or like Find Me is good because there's a consistent reward with the hats and stuff. And I never knew, since all of them are $2, it's like, this one's a fishing game, this one's a haunted house, but I didn't know if they were just kind of meh, or I didn't know.
Yeah.
So I kind of stray away from new Street Pass games.
Right.
Mhm.
Tell us one by one, what are these?
Starting just the new 5?
Yes.
All right, so you got slot car racing.
Good or bad?
Okay.
What's the next one?
Probably the worst of the 5.
Okay.
Ooh, okay.
Stock market.
That sounds terrible in my opinion, but what?
You'd think that, but when you're making money, and you're making money fast,
Fun.
fun. A lot of fun.
Okay.
I have a lot of fun with it. I'm a math guy.
Better than the slot car.
By a lot.
What's the
And
next one?
That's odd. Feed Me.
Feed Me.
Yes.
Tell me a little bit about
That-
Feed Me.
That makes me feel funny and weird.
So you get a whole bunch of adventurers, all your Street Pass followers. They come in
Mhm.
and they bring in ingredients. They order something from you. You try to fill the order to the best of your ability.
Ah, so it's kind of like Burger Time.
Yes. And then you send
Where
them
are
out.
you getting the ingredients from?
They bring them in.
Oh, they bring them in.
Yeah.
Okay.
Then you send them out on a Find Me adventure, and they go fight those ghosts and stuff.
What?
And you see how well your meal translates into their damage.
Interesting.
That's very okay. Where does it fit between slot and stock?
I would say it's like 3rd
Okay, so it's
or 4th. Probably 4th, but it's like 1, 2, 3, 4. And then like at the bottom there
is that slot car?
is the slot car
Okay,
one.
what's the 4th one then?
The Ninja Cannon?
Ninja Cannon. Is it like ninja is being shot out of a cannon?
Yes.
Okay, good. Because if it was anything else, I'd be really upset. And is it what? How does this one work with street passes?
So you got your Street Pass people.
Mhm.
They are flying kites. The whole thing is ridiculous.
It sounds
Yeah, I mean,
ridiculous.
naturally. Yeah.
They fly kites where you pick up weapons, armor, and headpieces.
Cool.
And then you take all of this stuff and defeat the monster who's on the cliff.
With the armor and the headpiece you picked up.
Right. And if you have all 10 dudes, you have to line them up, smallest to largest, and hope you can shoot yourself from the bottom to the top in a nice arc, collect all the stuff, upgrade to the maximum potential, and destroy the guy.
Sounds like more of a game than Find Me was, where it's like you have your street pass people. This one's more of a game.
Yes. This is a 2-minute game where everything else is like a 5-minute game.
All right, and then what's the final one?
Me Trek.
Me Track.
Okay, so everyone, you know how the 3DS has a pedometer on it?
Yeah.
Well, this actually utilizes
Oh,
that.
wow.
Holy shit!
What do you know?
Besides just grabbing random play coins, they're
Right.
using the pedometer?
So all the people you Street Pass
Mhm.
have this step count, and they're all added up, and you go on an adventure with them on a map. So, I mean, real simple.
What kind of adventure is it? Because Me Track, immediately I thought of like some sort of like track and field stuff. But what kind of adventures are you doing?
Oh,
Like combat?
Trek. T-R-E-K.
Trek. Oh,
Trek.
okay.
Like Star.
So you're like in a
What's the-
jungle,
Okay.
and you're looking for a piece of treasure. They point you along path A or B,
Mm.
and then later on it's like A, B, C.
Kind of like
and-
Find Me 2 did.
Yes. And except it's just with the steps,
Yeah.
and you might run into like a rock and you need to push it over with your big group and just
Yeah.
smash A button, or you need to time it right where this animal swings across your camera and you hit A and you take a picture of
Kind
it.
of like little mini games.
Yeah, silly little thing.
Sounds really fun.
But I mean, that's number 4.
Okay. So if you had to order all of them, once again, we have slot cars as the bottom.
Bottom. Yeah.
Okay, so what's the best one out of all of them?
I would
Stock market?
Stock market.
All right, and then after that, I would feel like you would say
Feed Me.
Yeah.
Feed Me, and then after that, I feel like you would say Me Trek.
No, the ninja thing.
Ninja.
I mean, that one and the Trek are very. They're so quick and easy that I was really happy with what they are.
Yeah, because a lot of those you kind of feel obligated to play.
Yeah, like Me Force. Me
When you
Force
have
was.
15 of them.
Oh my god, that just took forever.
And that's what I mean. Like, I don't want to buy. I like the idea of going in with Street Pass, just going, yeah, new thing, and fight. I don't want to sit there for 15 minutes and be like, What do the me's really mean?
You sit there for 15 minutes, you've played all 5 games, and then you're on to Monster Manor, back onto Monster Manor.
Now,
and you're happy with it.
What is the best downloadable, including the new ones, out of all the things that aren't stock with the DS? What would you say the best purchasable Find Me game is?
Monster Manor.
Okay, and how much are these new games?
So you get one of the stock car or the slot market for free.
Okay.
Slot car, stock market, whatever. You get one of those 2 for free, and then you could buy the other 4 for $9.
$9. Can you buy them individually?
$3 each.
Okay, that makes sense. Mm-hmm. So not a big investment, and it's a nice little thing, especially if you're playing 3DS. It's nice to have a little new thing. Is there any specials on the older ones like Monster or Meat
I haven't checked. I bought them already, so I mean that one was $15 for all 4.
Sounds like sounds good.
Thank you.
That's really all we have written down for this week, guys. A lot of TGS stuff, but there's been games that are coming out. I'm sure, like I said, we'll talk about, or like you said, Tyler, we'll talk about Destiny Path of Iron next week. But actually, I don't know. Next week we'll talk about that.
And New Game Plus. We'll get there.
New Game Plus, we'll get there. Yeah, we're halfway through we did that at the top of this. No, we didn't. That was X64. We passed New Game Plus.
Yeah.
So, real quick, New Game Plus, all you need to know is it's like Earthlock and Forza Horizon. And then something else that comes out. I don't know.
Later on this month.
Yeah, there's small things, guys. New Game Plus is just a small bit we do just for... I'm sure at this point you know.
PlayStation's not that great this month.
No, PlayStation's kind of mediocre.
But Journey is on it, though.
Journey is a very good game. Let's talk shop real quick, just to bring in the audience on the changes with the show.
You may have noticed.
The show...
A little different.
All the times they are changing.
Wow, that was live.
That wasn't a sound bit. I did that. That was my voice. So what we've decided is instead of just doing episode after episode of weeks and what we've done, we're going to compartmentalize it into what the popular games are. But the big thing, if you notice with 64, it was very much a specific thing. It was about nostalgia. And it was highly produced. There was a lot of video game music, stuff like that. So what we're thinking is that doing every other or maybe 2 of these kind of episodes and then doing a specialty episode. So the next one we have coming up, obviously, is Halloween, so we'll be doing a horror game special. If you understand where we're going now, you'll see coming into Christmas, we'll probably do like, what did you get for Christmas? Or games themed around Christmas.
There's going to be a Thanksgiving episode where we talk games that involve nothing but turkeys.
Yeah, we have a whole hour segment about that wall meat. Yeah, so that's something you can definitely look forward to because it's totally happening. It's totally happening. And don't worry, it's not all just like based upon holidays and stuff like that. We'll probably do specials about, game system launch lineups, free to play versus pay to win stuff, all sorts of kind of different specials. But this way you can look at a show and come in guns a-blazing if it's your stuff, or maybe listen from a more observant kind of thing if it's not your game.
Now that being said, we're trying something new with it, and we want to know what you guys think. So give us some feedback. You have a little taste of what we can do in terms of 64. Obviously, that again had a higher production value, which we are not afraid to do.
Yes.
We just, we want to know what you guys, the fans, like, because honestly, that's what keeps us going here. So,
hey, if you like something that we're doing, let us know.
Yeah.
If you hate something, we're still going to do it. Sorry.
Yeah. You can reach us at Super Gamecast 64 on Twitter. We have our personal Twitters as well. I'm at SGC64 Matt.
I'm at gingerbeard_man, beer like the beverage.
I am at T Tremalio.
If you want, you can reach out to us at email, and that is sgc64mail@gmail.com.
Or our Facebook group.
Which is /SGC64 spelled out. Besides that, guys, you'll see a lot of stuff popping up. We have a really cool sponsor in the works that you'll see within the next few episodes. Mm-hmm. Once again, like we mentioned at our break, we have that guy who made Tip and Ball.
Oh yeah, Tebow.
He is a great guy, and I'm glad you can go and check out that game. Besides that,
he's just to cover our bases, he's at Awkward Knot on
on Twitter.
On Twitter.
And we have another thing that Tyler's not a part of it, but me and Kevin are launching something new that hopefully, if you guys are into creepy stuff, or
too spooky,
not necessarily creepy, just a little bit.
If you're into, we'll announce it.
Yeah,
but know that we're there.
Yeah,
we're making it happen.
Actually, yeah, we're there. We're good to go.
Any closing thoughts, guys?
What are you guys excited for? What's coming up?
What's coming out?
Yeah, what's coming up? What you're excited for?
I have that Duke Nukem 3D 20th anniversary thing. I just want to brag real quick. I was the first person in the world to get all 200 gamer score in Duke Nukem 3D when it released on Xbox 360. That's a true fact too. You want to double check that? You can go to, I forget the website, but they do it based on who got it.
I forget the website.
I was the first one. I'm planning on not doing that again because I'm older and I don't have 8 hours to just do it straight. But that's something I'm super amped for. I'm also super amped for, what's that one game that the Gears of War that comes out on October 13th, that game that we talked about one time. I'm kind of interested in that game, that Gears of War 4 game.
The one that comes out on October 13th?
The one that, okay, so there's the Gears of War.
October 13th.
Oh, right.
The Gears of War franchise, the fourth one, and that comes out on, you guys, let's see, October 13th.
Right. The 13th day
of October.
Right.
It's a spook month.
Yeah.
It's not a Friday.
It's not a Friday. No, it's probably a Tuesday. Or it's a Wednesday. No, it's probably Tuesday.
But it's definitely October 13th.
What do you look for, Kevin?
Me, I'm really, 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 really looking forward to Sun and Moon. I don't know why. Great. I don't know why. Like, this has really just captured me, and I'm ready to go. I'm ready for the pokes.
Why isn't this the top of your list? Like, Dishonored 2. Why isn't this the top of your list? Like, Titanfall 2. Like,
those
why
things
isn't this the top of your list?
Titanfall's great. Sun and Moon's coming out November 2, to be fair. Those I expect to be great. Sun and Moon I know is going to be great, but I think in a different way.
That sounds like expecting and knowing, same thing.
We'll talk about it in the coming weeks. So once again, guys, I was your host, Matt.
I'm Kevin.
I'm Tyler, and I'm not expecting anything from the next few months.
That's it. Well, you know what?
No, I'm being honest.
This is still funny.
Once again, check us out on Twitter at SuperGamecast64, like our Facebook, and we'll see you guys around later.
Bye.